On this week's edition of Wildcat Weekly, Hall of Fame inductions, the children's play, and a Wildcat you should know. All this and more coming up next. Welcome to this week's edition of Wildcat Weekly. I'm your host, Cameron Singer. The marching band's flawless performances have brought school events to the next level. Ashley has the details on what it takes to be a marching Wildcat. From football games to parades, the Neuqua Valley Marching Wildcats help create an exciting atmosphere. While they make it look easy, the precision takes a lot of time and effort.
Really have to be focused in practices. Sometimes we get a little distracted having a lot of fun, and that was when we start getting uncoordinated and stuff, but we really have to just be focused and just on top of where we need to be. Every person has their own spot on the field where they have to be for every set, and that's kind of where they have to go. So just being coordinated on your spot every time is how we stay coordinated.
This year, the halftime show features songs by the Beatles, which is sure to be enjoyed by all. To be ready for this show and others, the Marching Wildcats put in hours of work each day at practice.
So we have after-school rehearsals just like any other sport. During rehearsals, we usually have, if we're practicing indoors, we have music rehearsals split up into sections. And if we're outside, we practice movements. We sometimes combine the music with the movements. And we try to cover a lot of our show during those practice times to get prepared for the next performance.
Besides football games, the marching band can be seen at parades on Labor Day, Memorial Day, and at competitions. Be sure to check them out at 6:45 p.m. this Saturday, October 2nd, for their competition at North Central College. And for Wildcat Weekly, I'm Ashley Robinson. 4 new members have been inducted into our very own Hall of Fame. This is an incredible honor that doesn't just happen to the ordinary athlete. Each one of these athletes have met very specific criteria to make them eligible of induction.
It's really been great to go to Neuqua. I think they do a great job at preparing people for life after high school. I went and attended Princeton University. I played sports there, and so learning all of the time management skills and all of the communication skills that are necessary to be a student athlete and to meet all those high demands, I really did learn kind of the basics of that going through high school at Neuqua Valley, and so it's been really useful, even to this day, kind of time management and communicating really well.
It's very, very humbling to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. I know we've had some absolute incredible athletes here, and so I'm just very fortunate to be included in those guys, in some of their names. It really means a lot, and one of those things. I'll be able to show it to my kids one day too, and I'll be very proud of it. So I'm very thankful.
The biggest thing I would share is to learn from your losses. They're going to come, and if you dwell on them, it's not going to really make a difference. But if you sit back and learn from how you could have done something different, how you can apply that for the next game, the next test, the next challenge in your life, you're just going to progress that much further towards success.
It's pretty special to be inducted at the high school who I have so much pride in, and my coach who's awesome. He's like my second father, so I talk to him all the time. He's great.
A big congratulations to the 4 new members that were inducted into Neuqua Valley's Hall of Fame. And for Wildcat Weekly, I'm Cameron Singer. The Children's Show is the first stage production in the theater department this fall. Gianna spotlights the preparation going into the show.
While attending a theater production is common, many might not realize all of the work that goes into creating a show like this.
One of the most funny things that go behind the scenes is getting warmed up. Warm-ups are kind of one of the most important things, to be able to do rehearsals and things like that, and without a proper warm-up, which is usually a theater game, which is so funny, and it's usually chaotic, that really gets us warmed up and allows us to have an awesome rehearsal.
This production used to cast children into the show, But without a theater camp this year to recruit the children, the directors had to adapt.
So the Children's Show is our first production every single year, and it's called the Children's Show because we pick a production that is targeting the audience of children. Family shows, but children there to interact with the cast. So we ask the kids questions during the production, and they get involved, and they're super excited.
You should come to see the Children's Show production of Tinkerbell on either October 8th at 7 p.m. or October 9th at 1 or 6 p.m. in the auditorium. Tickets can be purchased in person at the show or in advance with information that will be found on the theater website, nvhstheater.com. And for Wildcat Weekly, I'm Gianna Potasic.
Did you know that NEQA has over 50 clubs? Salima explains why and how you should get involved.
Ranging from robotics to government, NEQA hosts a variety of clubs and activities that spark all interest. Along with doing something that you like, getting involved has some other benefits as well.
I think it's just made my high school experience so much more enjoyable and gratifying. Like the things I've been able to do and give back to my school through like these events such as like parent-teacher conferences and homecoming. So being able to give back to my community and working with people who are like-minded and are just like so enjoyable to be around has made my high school career definitely a lot more fun.
In years past, finding out where to start on your club search has been difficult, but with a new feature, finding out more information about clubs has been made easier.
One thing we added this year, this has always been our number one requested thing, is there's a chart on there that you can look at to see the club, what day it meets, the time, and if you're able to join that at any point in the year or if you have to join it at the beginning of the year.
Another great resource to learn more about clubs is the Clubs and Activities webpage. Here you can find descriptions of clubs to help you find out if and what you should get involved in.
I definitely think students should get involved in clubs and activities. They really become a part of the NEQA community then, and hopefully find an interest for themselves. Maybe some of those would be a future career or just a hobby, but I definitely think it's very important to get involved in activities.
Don't be afraid to participate outside of the classroom, Wildcats. And for Wildcat Weekly, I'm Salima Scott.
Wildcat Weekly is only part of what the media department produces. Missy introduces you to a Wildcat you should know, a fourth-year production student.
Katrina Marzuki has had an interest in film from a very young age. She has spent the last few years working on a variety of projects for the NEQA media department.
I do a lot of things like help film for sporting events, musicals, V-Show, and a lot of events that couldn't be in person last year. And also I make projects such as Spirit Week and other things like trailers and promos.
Her skills have grown throughout the past 4 years, making her a strong asset for the team.
I've really seen Katrina improve tremendously throughout the 4 years she's been down here. She's put a lot of time into improving her shooting, her editing, and really just taking the time to apply critiques. A lot of what we've done, you've seen Katrina there. And I can name several things that she's been involved with, but she's taken advantage of opportunities. She has been dependable and a person that really has grown into a leader in the time that she's been here.
Make sure to check out Katrina's upcoming contributions to this year's Spirit Week series, airing next week. And for Wildcat Weekly, I'm Missy Rambasoon.
Thank you for watching this week's edition of Wildcat Weekly. Have a great weekend, Wildcats.